The Phoenix Suns are down 2-0 in the playoffs against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I feel like a big part of that is Devin Booker doesn't have a star player to help him carry the load. We all know that the Suns traded Kevin Durant for Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks, and in my opinion, that wasn't a trade that should have happened. So today we are going back into the 25 off-season and making things right. And don't get me wrong, we are still going to trade away Kevin Durant, but we're not going to allow him to demand a trade wherever he wants to go. We're going to do what's best for our team and our team's future. So let's see the best trade package there is available for Kevin Durant. So there are a lot of trade offers here for Kevin Durant. As you guys can see, there's a lot of star players we could bring in, but the trade that I like most is a trade with the Denver Nuggets that will land us Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon. We get ourselves a new starting power forward who's also a good defender, and we do get ourselves a point guard, and this way we could make Devin Booker back in his original position, the shooting guard position. So I believe this is a trade we will be pulling off with the Nuggets, sending them Kevin Durant and Royce O'Neal for Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon. Why would the Denver Nuggets pull off that trade? I have absolutely no clue, but what I do know is this trade is going to make our team a lot better than before. And I do believe I'm going to try and trade Bradley Beal, so let's see what we could get back in return for his $53 million contract. And this is a trade that I actually like here with the Brooklyn Nets, but I'm definitely not giving up our 29th overall pick. I will throw in some second rounders if we have, and we do have 2 second round picks. Let's see if that gets it done, and yes it does. We land ourselves Nick Claxton. Before we bring in a new head coach, I would really appreciate it if y'all could drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you're new. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month, and I know it's possible with your guys' support, so please make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hype the video. It's absolutely free and helps the video a ton. If we're trying to contend for a championship, sadly Jordan Ott is not going to be our head coach. As you guys can see, he only has a 67 head coaching overall, with 2-star offensive and half a star defensive coaching. So we're going to go ahead and fire him and try to bring in this guy here. I'm not even sure if he's a real person or not, but his name is Carson Wright Foreman. Let's go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $7.35 million. And it looks like he will be accepting. He has himself a 4.5-star defensive coaching rating, which is really good. We do have ourselves a 29th overall pick in the 25 draft, so let's go ahead and see which player we will be drafting. The Washington Wizards have the first overall pick, and of course they take Cooper Flagg, so that means Cooper Flagg will not be going to the Dallas Mavericks like he did in real life. The Trailblazers have the second overall pick, and they take Ace Bailey. Okay, let's see who the Nets going to take. They take Dylan Harper, and the Spurs take Con Kneppel. Whoa, that's going to be insane. Con Kneppel with Victor Wembanyama. And now let's go to our pick and see which player we're going to be able to pick here. We do have 29 trade offers, but I don't really think there's anything here that entertains me. These are the players still on the board. We do have some pretty good options. I'm a pretty big fan of Ozzy Noel, I'm not going to lie. I feel like he has himself a lot of potential. He's 6'11", power forward. He could space the floor. He's a decent defender, rebounder. He can literally do everything we need him to. Let me see which player would make most sense for our team. I'll show you guys once I come up with that decision. With the 29th overall pick, we're going to be selecting ourselves Ozzy Noel. I do think we could develop him into a pretty good player, and I don't think we have a second round pick, even though the Phoenix Suns, if I'm not mistaken, had a first rounder and a second rounder, but maybe they attained that from the Houston Rockets in the Kevin Durant trade. For team player options, we are going to let Micic walk. We don't really need a 71 overall on our team. And for qualifying offers, I will give Colin Gillespie a contract. We all know he becomes a pretty good backup point guard, good 3-point shooter. We don't really need Ty, and we don't really need Jalen Bridges. So the only player we're going to give a qualifying offer to is Colin Gillespie. Let's see if there's anybody we do need to re-sign, and it looks like we don't have to re-sign anybody here in free agency, but we do have about $5.6 million we could play with. And after taking a look at our team's roster, the small forward position is something we definitely need to upgrade, and we have enough money to sign ourselves Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He wants about $4.8 million, and we all know the breakout season he ends up having, so let's go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal where we pay him about $5.5 million annually. It looks like he will be accepting on a 4-year, $23 million contract. We do also sign ourselves Steven Adams on a 1-year minimum contract. He brings that vet experience, could be a mentor for the younger players. So for now, we are signing Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Steven Adams. I did want to upgrade the backup center position, so I threw Nick Richards and also Iguodaro in trade binder, and the New York Knicks are offering us Mitchell Robinson in a first round pick. We can never go wrong with Mitchell Robinson. He's an amazing defender, one of the best, well, maybe the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. So let's go ahead and pull off this trade. We are so ready for this season. This team is definitely looking like a championship contender. The player progression was amazing, a lot of green arrows, progression from the younger players, which is exactly what we had needed. And now in the starting lineup, we're going to have ourselves Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Aaron Gordon, and Nick Claxton. And then off the bench, we have Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn, Mitchell Robinson, and Colin Gillespie. Some of the player overalls may be lower than they are in real life, but that's alright because this team is still looking absolutely phenomenal, and thankfully we know how this season goes, which is why I brought in Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and hopefully he could give us the same season he gave the Atlanta Hawks. And now let's simulate the first few games with this new core and see how things go. The first game is a win up against Sacramento Kings. Booker with 30, 29 from Murray in his debut, 19 from Gordon, and 17 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Let's see if we could also defeat the Clippers and maybe even the Denver Nuggets, and we do want to defeat the Clippers 103-98. Gordon led the way here with 22 and 11, 20 from Murray and 15 from Booker. And now can we defeat the team we made a trade with, the Denver Nuggets? Let's see. And yes, we can, scoring 159 points. Murray went off for 37, 27 from Booker and 24 from Gordon. And with this new core, we are rolling with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under our brand new head coach, Carson Wright Foreman. I'm now going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there are any trades to be made, I will stop at the trade deadline to show you all. Mitchell Robinson does want to sign a contract extension with our team, so I'm going to go ahead and extend him for the next 4 seasons where we pay him about $7 million annually, and he goes on to happily accept. We are about a month before the playoffs, and just in case, I do want to sign ourselves a backup wing, and I think I'm going to go ahead and sign Grant Williams here. He does want a minimum, so we'll extend him. We'll pay him for the next 2 years on a minimum, and he goes on to accept. At the end of this season, Nikola Jokic goes on to win MVP, and Jamal Murray was actually the second runner-up right behind Nikola Jokic to winning MVP, but this year it will go to Jokic. Dylan Harper Rookie of the Year, Dennis Schroeder Sixth Man, Wemby Defensive Player, Josh Giddey winning Most Improved, LaMelo Clutch Player, our head coach wins Coach of the Year, and we also go on to win Executive. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections, and somehow we don't land a single player on an All-NBA team, even though Jamal Murray was in the award races to winning MVP. But that is alright. Do we get any All-Defensive teams? And we do land ourselves Nick Claxton on an All-Defensive second team. That is amazing. We ended this season as the #1 seed, winning a total of 68 games and losing only 14. We were absolutely unstoppable. Hopefully we're able to continue this into the playoffs. But before we start simulating the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at our player stats. The leading scorer on our team was Devin Booker, averaging 26 points per game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists on 50, 40, 89 shooting splits, which is why I'm surprised neither Devin Booker or Jamal Murray made All-NBA team. Murray was averaging 25, 3, and 7 on 50, 40, 88 shooting splits, 18 from Nickeil, 15 from Gordon, and 14 from Grayson Allen. It is now time for the playoffs, and in the first round, we will be taking on the Golden State Warriors. They have themselves Stephen Curry, Podziemski, Moody, Jimmy Butler, and Trace Jackson-Davis at that center position, with Jonathan Kuminga and Draymond Green off the bench. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 does go to us. Booker with 28, 15 from Gordon, and 14 from Murray. And we also go on to win game number 2, and yes, we can. Murray with 26, 21 from Naw, 11 and 13 from Robinson. And we held the Golden State Warriors to 68 points, so clearly our defense is phenomenal. If we can keep that type of defense, we'll definitely continue winning a lot more games. We were one of the best defensive teams in the league this season. Game number 3 does also end up going to us. Booker with 35, 20 and 11 from Murray. Where is Booker? Okay, never mind. So Booker had 35. I thought I missed his name, but we didn't. And Murray so far is averaging 20 points per game, 23 from Booker. And are we going to sweep the Golden State Warriors? Yes, we will. Murray with 22, 21 and 11 from Gordon, 19 from Booker. And now in the second round, we are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they have themselves Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert, and this will be their bench unit. It looks like they no longer have Naz Reid. Maybe they lost him in free agency or traded him away. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 does end up going to the Timberwolves. They defeat us here by 3 points. 35 from Murray, 22 from Booker. I'm not sure why Booker is not playing the minutes we're assigning him. He's only playing 32 minutes per game, even though I've assigned him about 37. I have made a little adjustment to our lineup. Mitchell Robinson will be starting at the center position. His rebounding has been phenomenal, plus he's shooting about 62% from the field, whereas Nick Claxton is shooting about 50%. So let's see if this makes a difference. Game number 2 does end up going to us. Let's go. Booker with 30, 27 from Murray, and 15 from Nah. We also go on to win game 3, and yes, we can, putting us up 2-1. We win here by 6 points. Booker with 29, 23 from Gordon, and 19 from Nah. We are now up 2-1. Let's see if we can make this 3-1, and yes, we do. Okay, so I was not expecting for us to be walking through the Timberwolves this easily, but we go on to win 128-118. Nah with 29 against his former team, which I completely forgot about. He's going up against his former team, the Timberwolves. 28 from Gordon, 17 from Murray, and 14 from Booker. Let's see if we could gentleman sweep the Timberwolves, and we go on to eliminate the Minnesota Timberwolves here in game 5. Let's see how our players did. So 18 from Booker, 17 from Murray, and 17 from Nickel. Now in the Western Conference Finals, we are taking on Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. They also have themselves Durant, Fox, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Sohan, and Victor Wembanyama in their starting lineup, and this will be their bench unit. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 does end up going to the Spurs. They defeat us here by 5 points. Booker had 36. 18 from Gordon, but sadly we do fall short. We do go on to win game 2, and Booker going off here for 44 points, 21 from Nah and 20 from Murray. And we also win game 3, and no, we cannot. It looks like it will go to the San Antonio Spurs. Booker had 24, 20 from Murray, but we do fall short here by quite a bit. Hopefully we are able to tap the series, which we do. Now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. Booker 31, 28 from Gordon, and 17 from Nickel. And we do go on to lose game number 5, 124-123 by 1 single point. De'Aaron Fox and Wemby have been an insane duo here so far, but hopefully we could push it to a game 7, and sadly we get eliminated in the Western Conference Finals. And that does suck, but Victor Wembanyama goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, Evan Mobley Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and let's see which one of the two teams will go on to win here, and it is the Cleveland Cavaliers with Evan Mobley winning Finals MVP. So clearly our team is not championship contender, so expect some trades and moves this offseason that we will be making to our roster, but before that, let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs. So we played a total of 15 games, and in those 15 games, the leading scorer was Booker, averaging 27, 20 from Murray, 17 from Nickel, and 16 from Gordon. I do see a pretty big problem here. We only had 4 players in double-digit scoring, so we're definitely going to need ourselves some better offensive players. In the 2026 NBA Draft Lottery, we do end up with the 14th overall pick, and honestly, I'm not sure how we ended up with this pick. I don't know if I traded for it or the Suns already had it, but we do end up with the 14th overall pick, and honestly, I believe I'm going to package this pick and some players and try upgrading some positions. So I decided to throw Nick Claxton in Trade Finder with the 14th overall pick, and the Clippers are offering us a Via Zubac. He's at 87 overall, and this past season he was averaging 14 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, 1.5 block, while shooting 60% from the field. He's a better offensive player and better rebounder than Nick Claxton, so I think we're going to go ahead and pull off this trade, plus we save ourselves about $4 million in salary. And I believe this upgrade will definitely help our team get over the hump. Last year when signing ourselves a head coach, there were not many options, plus I'm pretty sure this dude here is a computer generated bot, but we do have a lot more options this year. We have Joe Mazzulla, Jason Kidd, Doc Rivers, and Will Hardy. So what I am going to do is go ahead and fire our current head coach and try to bring in one of these real head coaches. I'm going to go ahead and offer each of them a contract, and we'll see which one accepts. Out of all the offers, it looks like Joe Mazzulla will be accepting and taking on the job as being our brand new head coach. He brings in championship experience, has that experience in the playoffs, so he should be able to help our team a ton. For team player options, we are going to pick up the team option on Ryan Dunn. Qualifying offers, it looks like we don't really need to re-sign anybody here in free agency, which means we do have majority or all of our players locked up on long-term contracts. In free agency, I will be signing ourselves Ben Shepherd on a 2-year $7.69 million contract, and we are also signing Dorian Finney-Smith, who could possibly be the backup power forward if he does not regress too much. We also signed him on a 2-year $4.8 million contract. And honestly, taking a look at our starting lineup, it looks pretty amazing. We have Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Aaron Gordon, and Zubac. The addition of Zubac is definitely going to help, but I am going to make some additions to our bench unit, because in the playoffs, our bench unit was struggling and not really playing well, so there are some players I will be trading. I do want to upgrade the backup shooting guard position. Grayson Allen was playing absolutely horrible in the playoffs, so I'm going to try and move on from him and bring in Quentin Grimes to be the brand new backup shooting guard. This past season, he was averaging 15 points per game, 43% from the three-point line, plus he's a really good defender as well. Let's see what the 76ers say. They do decline. I will throw in a first-round pick, and that gets the trade done. We land Quentin Grimes. The next trade we're going to try and pull off is with the Charlotte Hornets, where we send them Ryan Dunn and Ozzy Noel for Tijon Solon. I believe Solon could be a good backup power forward, so let's see what the Hornets say for this trade, and as of right now, they do decline. I will throw in a first round pick. That does not get it done. What if we throw in a second rounder and they still decline? Can we throw in another player? Yes, we can. Maybe Mike Conley will get this done, and just like that, we land ourselves Tijon Solon. Let's go. Here we are at the start of this season with a new and upgraded 9-man rotation. So in our starting lineup, we currently have Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Aaron Gordon, and Avia Zubac. And then off the bench, we're running Quentin Grimes, Mitchell Robinson, Tijon Solon, and Colin Gillespie. Our lineup is definitely looking like some championship contenders. Let's simulate the first few games of this season to see how our team does. The first game is up against the 76ers, who we score 153 points on. Nickeil with 31, 26 from Booker, 21 and 11 from Murray. Zubac in his son's debut with an 18-point double-double. And we also go on to defeat the Knicks, and yes we can, scoring 127. Grimes leading the way as our 6th man with 23 points, 21 from Murray and 21 from Gordon. Let's see if we could go 3 of 3 for this first week, and we go on to score 153 points against the Bucks. Let's go. Booker dropping 39, 25 from Murray, and 25 from Nah. And once again, our team will be rolling with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, balanced under our brand new head coach, Joe Mazzulla. I'm now going to start simulating until the end of this season, but of course, if there are any trades, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. This season, our team has made it to the NBA Cup Finals, and we are taking on the Indiana Pacers. We will have home court advantage. Let's see if we can go on to win the NBA Cup. So far, we do have the lead, close back and forth battle, and it looks like we will be winning 148 to 124. Booker with 37, 27 and 10 from Murray, and 20 from Nah. And Jamal Murray goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging 25, 3 and 8 on 50, 50, 69 shooting splits. And at the end of this season, Nikola Jokic goes on to win a back-to-back MVP, Darren Peterson Rookie of the Year, Cam Thomas 6th Man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player, this dude wins Most Improved, Cade Cunningham Clutch Player, our head coach Joe Mazzulla winning Coach of the Year, and we also go on to win Executive. Let's see if we do get ourselves any All-NBA selections, and once again somehow we end up with 0 All-NBA teams despite us being the number 1 seed. And do we get anybody here on an all-defensive team? No, we do not. So we get absolutely no awards, but that does not matter because we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 61 games and losing only 21. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was Devin Booker, averaging 27 points per game, 5.5 assists on 50, 40, 89 shooting splits. Jamal Murray was averaging 24, 19 from Nah, 14 from Gordon, 14 from Grimes, and 13 from Zubac. So this season we had a lot more players in double-digit scoring, whereas last season I believe it was 5 or 4. Now in the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Sacramento Kings, who have themselves Devin Carter, Zach LaVine, Jake LaRavia, Kyle, and Domantas Sabonis. They do also have a lower overall DeMar DeRozan as their 6th man. Let's see if we could defeat them here in the first round. Game number 1 does end up going to us. Booker with 29, 25 from Murray, and 20 from Grimes. Game number 2 does also end up going to us. This time it's Murray leading the way with 23, 23 from Nickeil, and 17 from Gordon. Let's see what happens here in game 3. That puts us up 3-0, and we go on to sweep the Sacramento Kings. So far here in the playoffs, Jamal is averaging 21, 21 from Booker, 19 from Nickel, 16 from Gordon, and 14 from Zubac. And now it is time for the second round of the playoffs, where we're taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they have themselves Shai Gilgeous, Alexander, Wallace, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Vin. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we will end up winning 44 from Booker, 28 from Murray, and 22 from Gordon. Let's go. We do also go on to win game 2. This time it's Murray leading the way with 26 and 10, 26 from Gordon. Booker had himself 24. We also go on to win game 3, and yes, we can. So we're up 3-0 up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, winning here in game 3 by 4 points. Booker had 39, 25 from Murray, and 23 from Gordon. Is it going to be another sweep? Yes, it will. Okay, so we going to sweep the Thunder. Murray led the way here in game 4 with 38 points, 27 from Booker, and 20 from Gordon. And here are the player stats for the second round of the playoffs. Booker went off. He was averaging 33 points per game, and so did Murray, who was averaging 29, 23 from Gordon. And now in the Western Conference Finals, we're either going to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves or the San Antonio Spurs, and it will be the Spurs. I believe the Spurs eliminated us last year, so hopefully this time around we are able to get by them. In their starting lineup, they have themselves De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Vassell, Jonathan Kuminga, and Victor Wembanyama. They do also have themselves Con Kneppel coming off the bench unit, but he's only an 80 overall. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 does end up going to the Spurs. They defeat us here 127-125. Murray had 35, Booker with the double-double, but we do fall short. Can we at least go on to win game 2? And yes, we can. Nickel with 28, 27 from Grimes. Where is Booker? He had himself 19. He has kind of been struggling here in the Western Conference Finals, but hopefully he can pick things up. We do also go on to win game 3, 142-107, so this was a blowout win. Nickel with 36, 32 from Murray, and 28 from Grimes, who has been huge for us as our 6th man. That does put us up 2-1, and it looks like in the Eastern Conference Finals we have the Boston Celtics taking on the Indiana Pacers. But we are up 2-1. Can we make this 3-1? And yes, we can. Okay, so this year we are defeating the San Antonio Spurs so far. Booker with 36, 32 from Murray, and 16 from Gordon. Hopefully we defeat them here in game 5. We will have home court advantage on our side, and so far the Spurs do have the lead by quite a bit. And it looks like we will be losing 148-122. Booker had 23, 22 from Zubac, but sadly we do fall short. I did adjust some player shot tendencies for our players that are playing good and playing bad, so let's see if that helps make a difference. We will be jumping into Simcast. We are still up 3-2, and the Spurs do have home court advantage. So far we do have the lead, and it looks like we will be eliminating the Spurs, winning here 129-123. Murray had 31, 26 from Booker, and 17 from Quentin Grimes. It looks like in the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the Boston Celtics with the Indiana Pacers going to a Game 7. And it looks like the Celtics did go on to win. Jamal Murray winning Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 28, 3, and 7 on 50, 40, 85 shooting splits. Jason Tatum, Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the Boston Celtics. And that means in the NBA Finals, we are taking on the Boston Celtics, who have themselves Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis with Peyton Pritchard as their 6th man. We already know that this starting lineup has won a championship together, so this is definitely going to be a really good team. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 does end up going to the Celtics. They defeat us here 121-117. Grimes was our leading scorer, but still we fall short. Game number 2 does end up going to us 147-126. Booker with 33, 26, and 15 from Murray. And now the series is tied at 1-1 apiece. Celtics will have home court advantage. We start off the first quarter pretty strong, but they take it right back, outscoring us by 20 points in the second quarter. We are kind of pushing back here in the second half, and we do end up losing sadly. They outscore us in the fourth quarter as well, defeating us 133-120. Murray with 30, 24 from Booker, and now we are down 2-1. Hopefully we are able to tie up the series. The Celtics will have home court advantage once again. We do have the lead. It looks like we are tying up the series, winning this game by 30 points. 33 from Booker, 30 from Murray, and 30 from Nickel. Now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. Hopefully we're able to win this next game to put us up 3-2. We will have home court advantage on our side. And so far we do have the lead. Can we keep it is a question. They are kind of pushing back, and never mind, we go on to win by 11 points. Murray dropping 27, And Big Zoo with 23 points and 21 rebounds, 19 from Naw and 18 from Booker. That puts us up 3-2. All we gotta do now is win one more game. The Celtics will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead. Still, never mind, we are up by about 22 points. I was about to say that's a close game, but it looks like we will be winning ourselves the championship. 129 to 101, Booker dropping 28, Murray with 25 and 12, 22 and 13 from Gordon. Just like that, we have won the Phoenix Suns a championship, with Jamal Murray winning Finals MVP, averaging 27 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.5 steal, and half a block. And that was an amazing playoff run. We were able to win Devin Booker his first ever championship with the team he spent his entire career on so far. Let's take a look at the player stats before I end out this video. In the playoffs, we played a total of 20 games, and in those 20 games, the leading scorer was Jamal Murray, averaging 27, 2, and 7, 25 from Booker, 18 from Naw, 17 from Gordon, 15 from Grimes, and 12 from Zubac. And then in the NBA Finals, we played a total of 6 games, and in those 6 games, the leading scorer once again was Jamal Murray with 27, 3, and 8, 25.5 from Devin Booker, as well as 7 assists, 17 from Naw, 16 from Gordon, 14 from Grimes, a 12-point double-double from Zubac. Now that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos. Also make sure to hype the video. That does help YouTube push my video to a larger audience. Click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. And until next time, it is your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.